In this video, we will talk about transport mechanism in plant. If you would like to refer to the textbook, it is on page 463. This topic is divided into 5 parts, which is structure of xylem and phloem, role of water potential, water transportation, opening and closing of stomata, and lastly, organic nutrient transport. Assalamualaikum. My name is Alia binti Abu Hassan from Kuliah 8. My metric number is AS11287. I will be presenting about two subtopics, which is structure of xylem and phloem and also water transportation. Water and food are some of the essential needs for a plant to live. It must be transported to the whole plant. Therefore, plants have a specific cell to transport water and food, which is xylem and phloem. Xylem moves water and mineral from roots to leaves. There are two types of conducting cell, which is trachate and vessel elements. The trachate cells have ends that overlap with adjacent trachetes. It has pits to allow water to pass from one trachate to the next one. The next type of cell is vessel elements. It has a long and tubular shape. It has perforation plate at each end to form complete hollow pipeline. We will move on to phloem. Phloem transport organic nutrients from the leaves to the roots. In flowering plant, phloem consists of two types of cell, which is sieve tube member and companion cells. The sieve tube member are the conducting cells of phloem. At each end, it has sieve plate which have many pores. It doesn't have nuclei. The next cell is companion cell. Their job is to provide proteins to sieve tube members.
Assalamualaikum. Nama saya Nur Ain Natasha binti Safian. Metrik nama saya AS1148. Untuk video presentation hari ini, saya akan terangkan tentang role of water potential. Okey, seterusnya kita akan masuk ke bahagian yang seterusnya, iaitu role of water potential. Okey, apa yang kita kena tahu water potential ni sebenarnya adalah mechanical energy of water, ataupun nak senang faham, water potential ni adalah pergerakan air, movement of water. Okey, dalam living system, water molecules ni dia diffuse freely across plasma membranes daripada kawasan yang ada higher concentration kepada kawasan yang ada lower concentration. Maksudnya air ni selalunya dia flow specifically daripada area yang ada water potential yang lebih tinggi kepada area yang ada lower water potential. Okey, kita tahu dalam tumbuhan dia ada vascular tissue, iaitu xylem dan juga phloem. Xylem fungsi dia adalah untuk transport air dan juga minerals daripada roots ke daun. Manakala phloem pula fungsi dia adalah untuk transport organic nutrients dan selalunya dia dalam opposite direction. Okey, xylem dan phloem ni sebenarnya dia bersambung daripada akar pergi ke stem dan melalui daun. Lepas tu, dekat akar, water potential dia adalah yang paling tinggi. Sebabnya, kenapa water potential paling tinggi dekat bahagian akar? Sebab air masuk mula-mula daripada akar melalui osmosis. Sebab tu water potential dekat bahagian akar tu lagi tinggi. Manakala dekat bahagian daun, dia adalah yang paling rendah. Sebab air akan keluar daripada daun tu melalui stomata. Okey, lepas tu kita masuk kepada konsep water potential ni. Okey, water potential ni macam yang saya cakap tadi, dia adalah mechanical energy of water. Lepas tu kita ambil contoh, contohnya air terjun. air yang ada dekat bahagian paling atas air terjun tu, dia ada water potential yang paling tinggi. Sebab kedudukan air pada bahagian paling atas air terjun tu yang paling tinggi. Maksudnya, the higher the position, the higher the water potential. Manakala air yang dekat bahagian bottom air terjun tu dia ada water potential yang paling rendah. Maksudnya lepas tu tadi sebelum ni saya kata dia water ni dia bergerak daripada area yang ada higher water potential kepada area yang ada water potential yang paling rendah. Sebab tu air daripada atas bergerak ke bawah. Logiknya macam tu lah kan. Okay, lepas tu in term of cell pula, dia ada dua faktor yang akan menentukan water potential. Yang mana dia juga akan tentukan juga ke mana direction air tu bergerak across plasma membrane. Dua faktor tersebut ialah water pressure across a membrane dan juga solute concentration across a membrane. Okay, untuk faktor yang pertama, pressure potential, dia ada efek ke atas water potential. Okay, air dia bergerak across membrane daripada area of higher pressure kepada area of lower pressure. Dan the higher the water pressure, the higher the water potential. Maksudnya makin tinggi tekanan air tu, makin tinggi water potential. Dan sebaliknya, makin rendah tekanan air, makin rendah water potential tu. Lepas tu pressure potential ni sebenarnya dia nak terangkan pasal movement set dalam xylem dan juga phloem. Okey, itu untuk faktor yang kedua. Kita kena tahu itu untuk faktor yang pertama. Kita kena tahu pasal pressure potential. Untuk faktor yang kedua, iaitu solute concentration across a membrane, kita kena tahu apa kehadiran, kalau ada solute dalam air tu, dia akan restrictkan movement of water. Sebab air ni dia tends to engage dalam molecular interaction dengan solute. Contohnya macam hydrogen bonding. So, air tu dia akan cenderung untuk bergerak merentasi membran daripada kawasan yang ada rendah kepekatan solute kepada kawasan yang ada kepekatan solute yang paling tinggi. Lepas tu, nak bagi senang faham, the lower the concentration of solutes, the higher the water potential, and vice versa lah. Lepas tu, kalau kita tingkatkan water pressure, dia boleh counter balik efek solute concentration tu. Okay, benda ni kita boleh tengok, senang kita nak tengok dalam plant cell lah. Bila air masuk dalam plant cell melalui osmosis, disebabkan kepekatan solute yang tinggi, water pressure dia akan increase dalam sel. So, dalam sel tu, keadaan dalam sel tu dia akan jadi strong. Yang mana dia akan allows water pressure tu untuk build up dia punya sel. Maksudnya sel dia tu akan jadi tegak lah sebab ada pressure dekat dalam yang tekan dia. Lepas tu, bila pressure potential dalam sel tu balance dengan osmotic potential dekat luar, dia punya pergerakan air keluar dan masuk sel tu dia akan jadi sama. Okay, lepas tu kita kena tahu yang pressure potential yang increase disebabkan oleh osmosis, kita panggil trigger pressure. Okay, trigger pressure ni dia penting untuk plants, sebab plants ni semua depend on trigger pressure ni untuk maintainkan dia punya turbidity ataupun dia punya kesegahan. Okay, kalau kita tengok plant yang layu, bunga pokok yang layu, maksudnya dia trigger pressure dia tak cukup. Dia kurang trigger pressure dalam sel dia. Sebab tu pokok tu dia tak tegak, dia layu lah kan. Lepas tu okay, macam pokok yang layu tadi, kalau kita nak segarkan dia balik, kita kena bagi pokok tu air. Sebab kita tahu macam yang saya cakap sebelum ni, air dia bergerak daripada area of higher water potential kepada area yang ada lower water potential. Okey, kalau pokok yang layu tadi tu, dia punya sel dekat dalam, water potential dia rendah. So bila kita siram air daripada dekat luar tu, dia punya water potential lagi tinggi. So that air daripada luar boleh masuk dekat dalam sel. Lepas tu equilibrium dia akan tercapai bila water potential dekat luar dengan dekat dalam tu sama. So bila rate dia, bila flow air keluar masuk sama, kita akan capai turbidity tu. So pokok tu akan kembali segar dan dia tak lagi layu. Okay, itu saja untuk bahagian saya. Kita sambung presentation dengan bahagian yang seterusnya.
Now, continuing my next part, water transportation. To make sure that water can distribute efficiently across the whole plant, there are two ways of water transportation. First is root pressure and second is cohesion tension model. The root pressure is caused by solute concentration difference. This will result in the continuous movement of water into root. One of the phenomenon that occurs due to root pressure is guttation. Guttation happens when drops of water are forced out of vein ending at the edge of the leaves. The next way is cohesion tension. Water must travel from roots to the leaves, which means they travel against gravity. This can be hard for tall plants especially. Transpiration is the phenomenon that explains this cohesion tension model. Transpiration is the constant pulling of water column from the top of the tree due to evaporation. This water molecule resist gravity and travel upward. Water molecules escape from spongy mesophyll and escape into the air through stomata. Water has strong cohesion, which makes the molecules stay linked in a chain. Water also have addition ability. This can make water molecule to stick to xylem vessel.
Transpiration is the evaporation of water from the aerial parts of the plant, so the leaves and stems. By water evaporating out of these parts, mostly the leaves, a suction pressure is created which draws up the water through the plant. This is called the transpiration pull. But what exactly happens in transpiration? Let's start at the roots. Roots have root hairs, giving them a large surface area for water absorption. Water passes in from the soil by osmosis, passing down the concentration gradient and into the root hair cell's cytoplasm, and then onto the xylem vessels. Water moves through the xylem vessels from the root to the stem to the leaf. Transpiration at the leaf causes a transpiration pull, and because water molecules are cohesive, water is pulled up through the plant in the transpiration stream. As well as the leaf cells needing water for photosynthesis, water also keeps the cells turgid, which supports the plant. Inside the leaves, water is drawn out of the xylem cells to replace the water lost through transpiration. Because of the cohesive nature of water, which also pulls the water through the plant, as water leaves the xylem and moves into the leaf, it again pulls more water molecules behind it. But it isn't just about water. The transpiration stream also transports mineral ions that are dissolved in the water from the roots to the leaves.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Naamuddin bin Adlan and my matrix number is AS11340. I will explain about opening and closing stomata. Thank you.
Alright, untuk part seterusnya adalah opening and closing of stomata. Okay, untuk opening stoma, first turgor pressure akan increase. Okay, turgor pressure ni adalah tekanan yang dikenakan pada sel wall bila air melepasi sel itu by osmosis ataupun dikenali sebagai hydrostatic pressure. Next, potassium ions ataupun K+, will enters the gut cell followed by water. Okay, korang boleh lihat daripada figure 25.16 bahagian open stoma di mana potassium ion dengan water memasuki gut cell. Kemudian stoma will open. After that, carbon dioxide will enter and gut cells radial expansion is restricted because of the cellulose microfibrils. Okay, cellulose microfibrils ni berada di dalam gut cells ni. Fungsi dia adalah untuk mengelakkan daripada gut cell ni terus mengembang apabila stoma ni terbuka. Okay, next, lengthwise expansion of outer walls. Okay, gut cell ni terbagi kepada dua bahagian, inner walls and outer walls. Okay, apabila stoma ni terbuka, outer walls ni akan mengembang, expand. Okay, kemudian buckle out from the region of their attachment. Okay, untuk ini korang lihat pada bahagian figure ni juga. Okay, waktu stoma close, dia melekat ataupun rapat. But apabila stoma ni terbuka, dia akan terlepas daripada dia punya attachment tu. Okay, kemudian hydrogen ions ataupun H+ accumulate outside gut cell as K+ move into them. Okay, apabila potassium ions ni memasuki gut cell, hydrogen ions ni akan berkumpul di bahagian luar gut cells ni apabila K+ ni bergerak. So, proton pump will activate. Okay, macam mana dia activate? ATP akan transport H+ ni to outer wall. Kemudian, electrochemical gradients allows K+ enter the channel protein. Okay, next, closing stoma. First is turgor pressure decrease and potassium ion exits and followed by water, and last stoma will close. Okay. Terdapat faktor lain juga yang boleh menyebabkan opening and closing stomata. Okay, salah satunya blue light component of the sunlight. Okay, seperti yang kita tahu, sunlight membawa 7 komponen warna yang berbeza, which is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet. So, macam mana dia blue light ni affect opening and closing of stomata. Okay, flavin pigment ataupun greenly fluorescent biological pigment, dia akan absorb the blue light from the sunlight, and then dia akan menyebabkan cytoplasmic response. Cytoplasmic response ni adalah opening untuk ion yang mula bergerak. Okay, after that dia akan menyebabkan activation of proton pump. Okay, next is receptor in plasma membrane of gut cells. Okay, bagaimana reseptor ni menyebabkan opening and closing stomata. Okay, concentration of the carbon dioxide will increase. Apabila concentration carbon dioxide ni meningkat, dia akan menyebabkan inactivation of proton pump. Okay, then photosynthesis akan terhenti. Next, hormone. Okay, abscisic acid ataupun dikenali sebagai ABA produced by cells in the wilting leaves. Okay, abscisic acid ni akan terhasil di dalam sel daun yang telah layu. Okay, apabila abscisic acid ni terhasil, stomata will close. That's why photosynthesis tak akan dapat dilakukan. Yes, thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurana Nabiha binti Azma. My matrix number is AS11237. So I'll be explaining the last part of this presentation, which is organic nutrient transport. Now let's move on to the last subtopic for this presentation, which is organic nutrient transport. So from what we've learned before, short ancient plants like mosses has no vascular tissue. So they transport substances like water and mineral passively from one cell to another. But as plants evolve and grew taller, of course their system will change because they need to adapt to the new environment.
So, for example, xylem and phloem tissue also evolve for long distance travel. So, phloem is the tissue that translocate the product of photosynthesis. So, we will discuss the role of phloem in the next slide. Alright, so phloem tissue is typically found external to the xylem in vascular tissue. So that is why when we girdle a tree, it will cause the tree to die because the lower half of the tree is cut off from its sugar supply. Did you know that phloem sap does not have any direction? It doesn't move exclusively upward or downward, unlike water in the xylem tissue. So water in the xylem tissue move due to the gravity, right? So phloem is not like that. Phloem can travel in any direction, but the direction have a beginning and the end. So the beginning we call it as a source. The source is where the sugar originate, and the end we call it as a sink. The sink is where the sugar unloaded. So radioactive tracer somehow conduct a study that prove what I said. So when 14 carbon labeled carbon dioxide is applied to mature leaves, so in this case mature leaf is the source, and eventually the radioactively labeled sugar is soon found moving down the stem and move into the area that cannot undergo photosynthesis like the root. So in this case the source is the mature leaves and the sink is the roots. So the liquid traveling in phloem is mostly water and sucrose, but there was other substances too, like RNA, protein that are needed for defense and protection. Alright, now I want to explain the pressure flow model of phloem transport. So this model is the experiment that explain the translocation of the sugar. So photosynthesizing leaves produce sugar, and that sugar was pumped into the sieve tube of phloem by active transport. Now, the active transport is dependent on an electrochemical gradient established by a proton pump. Sugar is co-transported by hydrogen ion that are moving down the concentration gradient. Now, when the sugar is pumped into the sieve tube, the concentration of the sugar increase, right? So when the concentration of the sugar increase, water in the xylem enter the sieve tube by osmosis. This result in the pressure in the sieve tube increases. When the pressure increase, it forces the sucrose solution in the sieve tube to move to the region with lower pressure, such as the roots. When the sugar arrives at the root, it is transported out of the sieve tube into the root cells. Now, remember, the photosynthesizing leaves is the source, and the root cells is actually the sink cells. So, and then the sugar is needed for metabolic processes. As the concentration of sucrose decreases at the sieve tube, water flow by osmosis out of the phloem into the xylem. And that is basically how this model works. So that is all from us. Thank you for watching and listening to our presentation. Bye-bye.